Hi, I'm Veronica Vance. Coming up, we show you some fun activities to do in the winter in the D. Head to the soulful bistro of Beans and Cornbread, and then we visit the art of the Hill Gallery in Birmingham, so stay tuned.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.
It may be winter here in the D, but there are plenty of things to do, both inside and out, like in our surrounding communities of Metro Detroit, like right here in Northville. There are plenty of things to do. There's shopping, or you can drop into one of the many restaurants and coffee shops and spend a carefree day. Or head outside and take advantage of all the recreational activities. And if you like to hit the slopes, we've got skiing too. Take a look. This is where all the runs converge.
Yep. This is the top of Pine Knob.
Wow, you can see that.
Exactly. Right down there is downtown Detroit in that area.
So a clear day, you could see Detroit?
Absolutely. You can see the skyline of Detroit from here, no problem. This is the highest point in Oakland County. You can get to about 12 or 15 runs from where we're standing right here at the top of the mountain. The blue runs, the more difficult runs, and of course the black runs are the most difficult runs. So there's a race hill, there's the mogul field, there's the wall, and several other, black or expert sort of runs that you can access from here, as well as the intermediate runs.
This will be my next step.
That's correct. That's correct. Once you get comfortable with the beginner runs where we were this morning, we would take the chair and come on up here, and this would be the run. And you see the bottom flattens out. So it's a nice, long, intermediate run.
Okay.
Nice and wide at the bottom. It's a beautiful place to practice.
Now, if you want to stay indoors and shopping is on your mind, the Renaissance Center in downtown Detroit is full of stores to get lost in, from men's clothing to women's boutiques and everything in between. And they've got 4 screens which show first-run movies, all in a contemporary and ultra-comfy setting. Some of my favorite things to do on a cold winter's day is to spend some time inside one of our uniquely Detroit museums and attractions. Like Puabic Pottery, it's the perfect place to get that Detroit vibe, and don't forget to take home a little piece of Detroit.
You'll see that we actually use historic equipment to make our own clay. We make our own glazes, and our artists use very, very much of the handcrafted technique that our founder, Mary Chase Perry Stratton, founded 101 years ago. This is a wonderful place to come and see what professional ceramic artists do for a living. It's a real nice snapshot on there.
Teresa, this is beautiful. I love the color scheme.
Isn't it great?
Question, can you, besides being a work of art, it looks like you could actually use this.
Oh yes, much of what we sell is functional. This is meant to be used. It feels good in your hand.
Yeah.
And look, she even has it designed in such a way so that you can hold your thumb there, and it feels
it's
very
comfortable.
Yes. Exactly. Again, see, here's a beautiful crystalline glaze.
Yeah. No,
and this is functional. This is all functional.
And this area changes then?
Absolutely. We restock our artist's work, gosh, probably every 2 months. So there's always something new to come and see. Yes.
Now, Detroiters love history, whether you're talking about the auto industry, art, culture, science, politics, or engineering. We've got museums and attractions that cover it all and make for a great educational as well as fun way for you and the family to get out and explore. One of my favorite exhibits is the Heroes of the Sky exhibit at the Henry Ford.
Said you wanted to walk on the wing of a plane.
Yeah, I do.
Here you go, right here. Nice and close to the pilot, so you're all safe.
Wind.
And you've got the wind in your hair.
This is
and you can lean out a little bit. Let go of the. You've got this down pat.
As long as you're strapped on.
All right. Should we see what else is in store for us in the exhibit?
Yeah.
Let's go. We're in the inventor zone, and this is where you meet people like the Wright brothers and Igor Sikorsky.
Igor Sikorsky.
Sikorsky is actually a great testament to the spirit of inventors.
Oh, okay.
It took him 30 years to perfect his aircraft, his helicopter. After trying multiple different ways, it was a success.
So now, if you want to stay on the science track, you've got to head on over to the Cranbrook Institute of Science.
It's an institute of science. We take the scientific approach to studying those things, and we help you not only understand it, we actually help you do it. We have a lot of material that's a great deal of fun for children and their parents and their friends to come, because they can look at it, they can see different things, and they can talk about it. And that's part of the excitement of a museum, is where you get to have that sort of social discussion about the objects you see. The entire area would probably be about 45,000 square feet. But of course, it's laid out in circles and paths and patterns, and you can double back and forth on it. So just to see what we've got, if they didn't even want to take an opportunity to go in and see live bats, or to watch one of the most exciting planetarium shows, or to go down and see some of our always changing, exciting exhibits brought from all over the world, they probably would need to devote about an hour and a half to it.
Of course, history includes some of the worst in human behaviors, but the worst of these can hopefully inspire and teach us to never allow these atrocities to happen again. The Holocaust Memorial Center in Farmington provides a deeply moving experience, and it's a super important museum to visit.
When the war was brought to a close and the liberators came into the camps with the media and photographs, the world could no longer deny what was going on.
So this is again showing the liberation.
What the liberators found when they came into the camps.
So when we leave the abyss, we then...
We're walking up out of the darkness towards this memorial flame, which we like to think of as a symbol of hope.
Wow, Donna, this is again a very powerful ending. The numbers of murdered Jews in each country, it's mind-boggling.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, Donna, thank you. Thank you. Very enlightening look.
Come again.
I will.
These are just a few suggestions on ways to spend a cold winter's day in the D, but the main thing is to think of the D as a great playground regardless of the weather. So bundle up, get on out there and discover all the D has to offer.
Things are happening in Detroit that are going to reinvent the American city.
Those of us who have been here a long time can tell you that it's never been more vibrant.
And it really represents the future, what the future can be and what the future is becoming. Let's start at 5 a.m. We have joggers that are running through our state park, that are running on the riverfront.
I kind of like that Detroit has its own vibe right now. Like, it's awesome to be Chicago and it's awesome to be New York, but we kind of have like this underdog thing going on.
Visitors come in from out of town and they absolutely adore the city of Detroit.
When they get here, what they see is different than what they've come to expect.
I've been all over the country, and downtown Detroit is as safe as anywhere I've been.
So in a way, it feels like being in a kind of lively college town in the middle of Detroit.
It's really a very compact downtown and a very exciting one, because it has so much great architecture, great cultural institutions.
Lots of restaurants, coffee shops.
There's walking, there's tours to do, there's museums to see, art.
We've got Campus Martius Park, one of the best urban parks in the United States.
The DIA, the Cultural Center.
We have a farmer's market.
It's easy to get from here to Campus Martius to Greektown, just walk all over the place.
The Fox Theater, the DAC.
There is so much to do in this city, and it's not like every other city.
All of us in downtown Detroit recognize that safety is the key to everything.
Come to Detroit and see for yourself.
You gotta see it to believe it.
I'm chilling in Southfield at the Sidebar. It's this dark, cozy little jazz place, and it's the Sidebar of Beans and Cornbread, where they serve up some of the tastiest soul food in Metro Detroit. And speaking of soul food, Patrick, hi, how are ya?
Hey, Veronica, welcome to the heart and soul of Southern cooking, Beans and Cornbread.
Now, so this is the Sidebar that kind of spurred off of Beans and Cornbread, right?
You're absolutely correct. This is our Sidebar. It's literally a bar on the side.
Love it.
We call it Southfield's Neighborhood Tavern.
Now, I love the colors. It's so warm and welcoming in here.
Well, thank you. It's intimate. We have a wonderful wine selection. We have wonderful beer selection. And we make the best peach martini this side of the Mason-Dixon line. So come on in. Let me give you a tour.
Yeah.
There's a lot of African-American history. So when you come to Beans and Cornbread, it's almost like taking a tour. It's almost like a cultural experience.
Well, I love the 3D effect of this painting.
Well, this painting was done by a local artist named Marcus Glenn. He's a native Detroiter. And as you can see, there's lots of texture. It is three-dimensional. There's actual metals, and you can actually see shadows. Very, very talented young man. You come back here behind the bar. I've got an actual Life magazine from 1950 with Jackie Robinson. Wow. So we have lots of memorabilia.
So this is like we're going into Grandma's dining room here.
This is like Grandma's dining room. Thank you, Akila. Welcome to Beans and Cornbread. Now, this is the heart and soul of Southern cooking. Did you pick up the smells of the restaurant?
Oh yeah, it smells wonderful.
So you're also going to get some great food. So what we do here at Beans and Cornbread is a traditional and non-traditional mix of soul food. So you may be able to come in and order fried chicken, or you may find something on the menu like escargot.
Really?
We have several different cultures that dine in this restaurant. So a lot of times we're introducing folks to soul food for the first time, and then there are folks that grew up on soul food, and we're introducing them to some of the non-traditional items. We call this the soulful bistro. It's sort of a meshing of soul food and a bistro. So it's our soulful bistro. Hey guys, how are they treating you today?
Very well.
Good. You enjoying your shrimp and grits?
Yes, the food is delicious.
You know, we specialize in low country cuisine, and that is a dish that if you go down to the Carolinas, you're going to find it on every single menu. Yeah. Hey Eddie, how you doing? Nice to see you.
I'm doing great, buddy.
Good. Thanks for bringing folks in today. How was lunch today?
Wonderful.
Good, good. I can tell you didn't like your food, huh?
So what keeps you guys coming back to Beans and Cornbread?
Catfish, cornbread, collard greens, the atmosphere.
And the sweet potatoes are exceptionally good.
Pretty decadent, huh?
Yeah. I don't know, you guys sound like you're listing kind of the whole menu.
Yeah. We love everything. In other words, we love everything.
Well, this room is a sexy room. This is your private event room?
This is our private event room, and in keeping with the Southern theme, it's called Red Velvet.
Red velvet cake.
Yeah, like red velvet cake. And it is sexy. We call it grown and sexy. This room is perfect for corporate affairs, banquets, for showers, and birthday parties. And the cool thing about this, there's no room fee. You have the Beans and Cornbread food, and you have the quality service. And it's a very versatile room. It can be set up banquet style, or you can open it up for a cocktail party. At night, we dim the lights. You can bring a DJ in, you can bring in live entertainment, and it's available 7 days a week.
For no fee, that's unheard of. Now on to some of the soul food, what we came here for.
You want to have some of the low country, the heart and soul of Southern cooking?
Yeah.
Come on this way.
Well, Patrick, they say you eat with your eyes, and I want to say that your plating is beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's all about presentation. It has to be a visual feast for the eyes. You know what? Let me tell you about some of these items. We've got a mix of traditional and non-traditional. Our traditional is our farm-raised catfish. We partnered that with red beans and rice. We've got some low-country cuisine here. That is our shrimp and grits. So we take a little andouille sausage, and we take fresh shrimp, and we take hominy grits.
And I see, okay, I'm going to tell you, that's what I'm really eyeballing. There's like 5, 6 jumbo shrimp in there. That's generous.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? They're Cajun spice. This is our non-traditional side.
Okay.
We do a salmon croquette, and we use a roasted red pepper sauce to garnish it along with a portobello mushroom. So that's our bistro side. Then we come with our black eyed peas, which is our non-traditional side.
Nice feeling.
Our fried chicken, our collard greens. Our collard greens are high in beta-carotene and vitamin A. We use smoked turkey, so we don't use a salt pork or fatback. So this is a little healthier than what my grandmother used to prepare.
And these are the sweet potato muffins, right? That comes standard with every meal?
Rachel Ray says that they are addictive. I mean, she loves them. So, and then you know, we've got fresh cornbread. And then we have some decadent desserts here. We have our sweet potato pie. As you can see, once again, we jazz it up with a little presentation. And then we have our house-made peach cobbler. And some good jazz, and let's eat. These are baby back ribs, and as you can see, they fall right off the bone. And they're grilled. And then that's our house-made barbecue sauce.
Those look good.
Pretty tasty?
Succulent. Oh, those are good.
Are you hungry
yet? I
yet?
like the sauce.
My mom made salmon croquettes, but she didn't make them like this. And she didn't put the roasted red pepper or the portobello mushroom. So you have two different
textures
flavors and textures, and they're melding, and it's just good stuff. Shrimp and grits, put some
Flavor it up.
Cajun spices, and then we just add it to the shrimp.
Oh, it
And
gives it
that's-
a nice kick. I love that.
That's low country at its best.
That is delicious.
You can't get any better than that. This is our cornmeal crusted catfish. Take a little salt and pepper and, you know, sprinkle it on the fillets, a little cornmeal, and we put that in the deep fryer at 350 degrees.
Nice crunch on it. That's good.
Now, all of our beans and
Oh,
all of
my
our...
God, those are flavorful. It's just a burst of flavor in your mouth. Those are delicious.
You like that?
Collard greens. Nice. And who doesn't like mac and cheese?
You know what? Baked mac and cheese. Now, this
That's
is
the
a
secret?
baked version of mac and cheese. And this is how Mom did her macaroni and cheese. She baked it. Good stuff?
That's good stuff.
Fried chicken. You got to have a little skin.
And moderation. Anything in moderation is good for you, right?
You know what? We preach moderation in this restaurant.
Yeah. Black eyed peas.
Black eyed peas, once again, they're flavored with smoked turkey. We just wanted to give it that bistro feel, present it well.
That's yummy. Oh my goodness, look at the peach in there. I'm just going to be unladylike for a minute here.
Oh, go for it. You know what? That's what napkins are for.
Well, Patrick, I want to say thank you so much for rolling out the red carpet.
Well, thank you for being here at the heart and soul of Southern cooking, Beans and Cornbread.
And so you see, we've got 3 gems right here in Southfield on Northwestern Highway. We've got the intimate sidebar, the red velvet banquet room, and of course, Beans and Cornbread, where they're serving up soul food along with Southern hospitality. Let's go back to Eden.
All right. Mind you.
There are plenty of things to see and do in Metro Detroit this month, and our calendar of events is up next to point you in the right direction. The Autorama is a hot rod and custom car fans' paradise, and golf season kicks off at the country's largest golf show. The Detroit Opera House premieres Frida at the Macomb Center, and the pop culture phenomenon Flashdance is now on stage. Thumbs Up Detroit celebrates our great American comeback city, and Disney on Ice tells the magical story of Frozen. The Fly Fishing Expo will teach you everything about the sport, and Corktown St. Patrick's Day Parade celebrates 57 years. Loose tests the lengths a parent would go to protect their child, and the Big Ten hockey tournament faces off at the Joe. Catch the Funny Sisters Easter Catechism at City Theater, then find anything and everything you need for your home and garden. Hop on over to the family fun Bunnyville at the zoo. Then it's opening day in the D with the Tigers versus the Twins. To learn of any changes, log on to visitdetroit.com or call 1-800-DETROIT.
Hey, if you're looking for culture in the D, we've got a ton of art. If you're like me, walking into an art gallery can be a little intimidating, but we were at the Hill Gallery in downtown Birmingham, where they're dispelling the notion that it needs to be. It's basically like coming into a museum where they really want you to appreciate their contemporary fine art and their great American folk art.
Hi, I'm Pam Hill, and I am the co-director, along with my husband, Tim Hill. I want to give you a tip about something that's going on in Birmingham, and that is the public art, which we call here cityscapes. And we have on display 9 pieces of outdoor sculpture that you will enjoy, and it's there to be seen by you.
It was okay that I did that. Now for this, you need a really big wall. Well, so Pam, tell me a little about the Hill Gallery. I mean, is it intimidating? It's intimidating to somebody who doesn't know a lot about art, but you're welcome to come in and take a look around, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. That notion of being, feeling like one is intruding when they go into a gallery, or feeling like, well, because they're not a buyer, maybe they shouldn't come in, that is absolutely the opposite of the reality. The reality in a gallery is that the works in the gallery, any gallery, are made by artists who really, really want to have people look at their work. Most of what we have right now, these are all highly recognized, really internationally known artists. It's kind of a way to kind of share, you know, the power of national American art with our local audience.
So this is sort of unusual. What are we standing next to here?
This piece is made by an artist whose name is Jean Heinstein, a New York-based artist. And Jean deals with simple shapes, but the making of the pieces are very complex, and the fact that it is floating in space. It's weightless. So how a piece of art is presented has a lot to do with our response to it.
I know what I'm thinking about, wonder what she's thinking about. I'm thinking about, why am I standing like this? So you have a mixture of contemporary art, but then you also have folk art in here, correct?
That's right. So right here, this is a piece that comes out of the field of American folk art.
Folk art.
Father Time is a symbol that we see, you know, all the time. And Father Time here, who is pointing down to Earth, and he's suggesting that morality and ideal behavior should be now, because the symbol of death, this scythe, is saying, look, your life may not be forever.
So this is a great example of folk art, but behind us, this is an awesome contemporary piece.
This piece is by a very important American sculptor, Mark de Souvero. And Mark does large-scale works. He's in museums all over the world. And his work, some of Mark's pieces actually get up to 72 feet in the air. This would be a small piece. This is, but it's an exquisite piece. So what we have is cut steel that looks like it's easy to do. It's very difficult to cut steel. And then we have this element at the top that spins. And then we have another element above that also moves. So we basically have a double motion going on.
So we've got some lovely stainless steel here. Behind me, we've got Anne, and I'm thinking about going pink too. So what do we have here? One very abstract piece, and then one piece that certainly is quite different. Can you explain
the dynamic?
Yeah, exactly.
And again, this is a kind of juxtaposition or a placement that Tim and I really like to do in the gallery, because we like to show how things are somewhat similar and how they're very different. So in this case, the similarity is color. And so we have, you know, red, green, white, blue, and the same red, green, white, blue happening over here.
Right.
And but this is a really exceptional example of a Native American Sioux Indian vest. And this would have been done right around 1890. Oh, wow. And we have the really beautiful reduced geometry that you find in Native American design. Michael Goldberg is creating like a cacophony of form. He's putting together shapes and colors and shifting moments that suggests, well, if you're looking or listening to music, this would be like jazz at its wildest. Veronica, I want you to see this collection of American whirligigs that we're showing.
Whirligigs?
Yes, these are whirligigs. And the idea of a whirligig comes from the whirly. And the whirly is the fan blade, the like windmill blade that actually would create the energy to move the figures. So whirligigs are also animated. This is Philip Pearlstein. He's an American expressionist. Philip is in over 65 museums.
Wow.
At just about every museum you can name owns at least one Philip Pearlstein. There's an abstraction and there's a lot of realism in Philip's work.
Well, Pam, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I loved it.
You've been so informative and so educational.
Thank
and the
you.
Hill Gallery really is making art accessible to everyone. Great job you're doing
Thank
there.
you, and we hope to have lots of visitors.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Veronica Vance. And remember, if you would like more information on any of the places we visited, log on to visitdetroit.com. So until I see you next time, go out and explore on your own and discover the D.
To learn about discounts and special offers for featured attractions, plus how to get copies of Visit Detroit magazine, click on visitdetroit.com.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.